Hi there, ladies. Have you ever wondered why your husband's sex drive is lower than yours? That's what we're talking about right now. I'm Mary Whitman Ortiz, Christian sex educator, relationship coach, and author. I've been helping people to grow the connection in their relationship for over 20 years. On this channel, we talk about everything you need for greater sexual intimacy in marriage. Please subscribe and check us out every Friday for a new video. On today's video, we're talking about 5 causes for low sex drive in men. I'll break that down for you right now. It's physical, emotional, relational, integrity, and information. So let's see what each one of those areas can show us, and there might be a few surprises for you. Within the physical area of symptoms and causes, certainly medical issues are going to have a huge impact. I mean, it could be regards to your thyroid or to heart condition and actual medicines that you take. When you read the whole list of contraindications, well, it could be impacting you and you may not be aware of it, and there might be a substitute prescription that you can take. Hormonal imbalance is a big factor, and certainly that can cause fatigue, and in conjunction with that might be low testosterone, which is really going to have an effect on your sex drive. In our emotional cause, we're looking at what if this is a season of high stress? And for anyone who's been impacted by the pandemic and how that affects our health and finances, I mean, just the world at large right now is a high stress zone. So that can really impact your sex drive. Maybe there's some grief going on or depression. And even though men, it's teased, they compartmentalize things, but truly the emotional side of their being impacts their ability to perform, to engage, to arouse. So it does have a connection. And maybe within the emotional component, there are fears. So this could be a fear of performing, if there's certain expectations there, and a fear of being rejected. Kind of like, why even start if I feel like I'm going to be criticized? So all of those things have an impact. And then we have the relational area that is broad reaching, but I'm going to pinpoint a few things here for you to consider. So there may have been emotional or sexual trauma in their childhood, in their past. Sometimes men don't reveal things. Sometimes they're just not aware that, that one thing that happened when I was a teenager, it was a bigger deal than I realized. And they could be carrying it around, and it is making a difference. They could ignore it for a long time. It flares up. Even in their present relationship with you, it may feel like a trauma or a strain or an oppression, and that could impact them. In conjunction with that, our personality differences. And I mentioned before that women, they might have a high sex drive because they're a type A and they're a go-getter and they have an agenda and a plan. Well, if that is very different than your husband, who's kind of low-key and relaxed, which is maybe why you were attracted to him, so those differences will be impacting him in many areas. And also from a relationship standpoint, maybe he is not accustomed to the communication skills that are needed to express what's going on inside of him, and so that impacts everything. And so let's also look at the integrity issues. This is the heart of the matter, pretty much a big red flag and fear zone for a lot of wives, and this could include pornography, Excessive masturbation and acting out either in an affair or prostitution or with other sex addict types of behavior. So those would definitely have an impact on their sexual drive. And then our last area is talking about lack of information. And so maybe your husband just did not have a great understanding about expectations in sex, and that's very, very common. But there can be some frustration and resistance at that point to own that and to identify that. Maybe he's unaware about how he can trust God. God is not embarrassed by our sex life. He made it for marriage. He said it's good. He wants to be a part of your process, but that is a learning curve to get to that place. And then learning how to be proactive, both as an individual to see themselves as powerful, that they can make decisions, that they can own where they are in life and where they want to go. And then also with making their relationship a priority. That's all new information to process and apply. So once again, this is the tip of the iceberg and a lot for you to consider and to start the ball rolling with some accountability. I would love to hear from you in the comments which area seems to be the trouble spot at this time. Would it be physical, emotional, relational, integrity, or information? Because once you can identify for yourself where some of those blocks are, then you can have some of the tools to make the changes that you want. Thanks so much for watching and listening today. And remember, Father God wants to lavish His love upon every area of your life, including sexual intimacy in marriage.